Hi, everyone, and welcome to this Langer and Like Dallas Cowboys post-game show. Going live here after the Cowboys just completely demolished the Atlanta Falcons 43-3. And now get ready to say this with me. Ready? How about them Cowboys? Woo! 43. Okay. It was the complete, utter opposite from last week's game. Watching the Atlanta Falcons today was like watching the Cowboys last week against the Broncos. And we were all saying coming into this week, after last week's demolition, it was 30-16, but really for all intents and purposes, it was 30-0 that the Broncos just baptized the Cowboys last week. We're coming into this one saying that last week was the anomaly. Last week was just an aberration. Last week, it was the Cowboys just taking the Broncos a little too lightly and just one of those days of things not going the Cowboys' way. But were we saying that with confidence? Were we saying that knowing and Randy Gregory goes out with a calf injury, the third significant calf injury the Cowboys have dealt with this season between Gallup and Dak? Gallup came back in this game, though, of course. So how confident were we? I was confident, but when Gregory got hurt, that confidence dwindled for me coming into this game, because also then I started to think the penalties, the sloppiness, the inefficiencies on fourth downs from the Chargers game, the Patriots game, the Eagles game, even where they just can't sneak it in on fourth and goal. They just can't sneak it in on fourth down. They just can't convert. They're like in the bottom of the league in terms of converting fourth downs, mostly because of that 0 for 4. But the Cowboys this afternoon put all of that to rest and reminded us that the Cowboys, if they're going to lose games this year, it's because they just lose focus, because they just don't feel like winning that on a given afternoon. But when they feel like winning, when they buckle up and just take things seriously and show up ready to play like they did today, here's what you got: 43-3. Not a and I will say this, though. I will say this. You know what? Obviously, this is huge for Joe Witt Jr. and Dan Quinn, the former coaches of the Atlanta Falcons. Dan Quinn, the head coach of the Falcons. And I think that's also part of why the Cowboys were just very content with running up the score. Falcons did not even score a single touchdown, of course. But early on, the Cowboys, so when they chose to receive in this game, they chose to take the ball first, which I don't agree with. Usually, I always want to defer to the second half and try to double up with the last possession of the first half and the first possession of the second half. But in this game, you know what? I did not know that the Cowboys were going to score first and then score again and then score again, then score again, then score again. Although they did actually punt on their second possession, but put up 36 points in the first half. And that is where it's a very small margin of things going well for you, or for things to go a certain way, for taking the ball first to be the right decision. But when they go the way they did today for the Cowboys, where you score first on that opening possession and then score again, score again, score again, that is when you take the ball first. And early on, though, again, it's all about that 4th and 7. You talk about fourth downs. If like the Cowboys could not stop Atlanta on those first two possessions, they could not, until Atlanta got inside the 20-yard line, because the Cowboys, they could just Kyle Pitts, Cordell Patterson, chunk play. But you know what? When the Falcons got into their first third down situation, Cowboys stopped them, forced a field goal. Then the Falcons got into their second third down situation, Cowboys stopped them. Falcons now down 7-3. Think it's a good idea to go for it at 4th and 7. Now, I'm always for going for it. But when you have one of the best kickers in the NFL in Younghoe Koo, and it's 4th and 7, and it's 7-3, and it's 4th and 7, you have a good offense. You have a really good quarterback in Matt Ryan. You have decent weapons in Kyle Pitts and Cordell Patterson, of course. But it's 4th and 7. You're on the road against one of the best teams in the NFC. Why are you going for it on 4th and 7 in makeable field goal range for Younghoe Koo? Why are you going for it? But you know what? I don't care because I'm a Cowboys fan, not a Falcons fan. So doesn't work out for the Falcons. Cowboys just say thank you very much, and they go for it on a 4th down of their own. And it was a beauty. Dak finding CeeDee Lamb in the end zone for the first CeeDee Lamb touchdown that put the Cowboys up 14-3. And then also just overall on the day, the Cowboys were 6 for 14 on 3rd down. Obviously, some of that is having to deal with Cooper Rush coming in the game at the end, but 3 for 3 on 4th down. A stark contrast to being 0 for 4 last week on 4th down and barely converting any 3rd downs. And here's something fun for you, by the way. Falcons were 1 for 11 on 3rd down and 0 for 2 on 4th down. So again, one of many ways that this game got flipped upside down compared to last week. And also, obviously, coming into this game, what I also really liked is Kellen Moore, of course. Just I find the Cowboys did a much better job scheming to help out Terrence Steele on the left side, because the Cowboys, even though Terrence Steele had an awful game last week, and a lot of that was when the Cowboys were down big and they just had to throw the ball a lot. But this time it was Zeke doing a phenomenal job in just helping out on that left side. Pollard even chipped a couple of times. Tight ends Sean McEwen, Dalton Schultz also chipped in. Sprinkle chipped in a lot of the times on that left side. So I feel like the Cowboys did a much better job scheming to protect or to help out Terrence Steele in protecting Dak's blind side. CeeDee Lamb had one of his best games of the year. I played against him in fantasy this week, but I don't care. 6 receptions, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns, and that second one was a dime by Dak, who was just backpedaling to get away from the all-out pressure by Atlanta. But then CeeDee Lamb was just in one-on-one coverage, and I forget the Atlanta safety's name, but he just completely just danced around him to the left side of the end zone and just settled underneath it nice and easily and let the ball just come right out of the sky from Dak. Dak just dropped it in there like a dime. 2 touchdowns for CeeDee Lamb. Again, Zeke, great day running the football into the end zone specifically. Only had 2.9 yards per carry, but the 2 touchdowns. And like I said, great game for Zeke in pass protection. He didn't have the fumble, though. Although, good thing for Zeke to fumble in this game and not in a game that's important or in an important stage of a game. Seems obviously important. Michael Gallup in his return, 3 receptions, 42 yards. Dak found, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, maybe not 11 receivers because, again, Cooper Rush found Corey Clement. And, I think it was, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 receivers that Dak completed passes to today. And obviously, the blocked punt where Nashawn Wright was the guy that was Dorrance Armstrong who blocked it. And it was Nashawn Wright who attempted to recover it last week, but because he touched it, it became a live ball and Denver recovered it. And that nullified the blocked punt last week. This time he recovers it in the end zone to put the Cowboys up 36-3. And honestly, sure, go for 2. Why not go for friggin' 2 and just completely lay down the beating? When you get beat like you did last week, I don't care. Go for the beating. Dak Prescott, run it in with go for it. Sneak it in and take it in yourself, even if you're going to get hit or popped on the goal line. It's just the attitude. It's just the mindset at that point to really reinforce the fact that the Cowboys are more of what they were today than they were a week ago today against Denver. And then, of course, 2 other guys that have to be named. Also, Dorrance Armstrong did a good job filling in on the edge, which he deserves a lot of credit, and obviously the block punt. But then Micah Parsons, once again, a phenomenal game for Micah today. He had the sack, multiple pressures, 6 tackles, lining up both as a linebacker and as an edge rusher in a game without Randy Gregory and DeMarcus Lawrence. But then also Trayvon Diggs. He gave up a couple plays like he always does. But once again, when the mistake was made by Matt Ryan, Trayvon Diggs was there to intercept it. And also, you know what? His 8th interception on the year, obviously historic. That, again, is enough to lead the league in most years. But just your mistake ball better not be around Trayvon Diggs. But you know what? On a day like today, it better not be around Jordan Lewis or Anthony Brown either, because they played. This was probably one of the best games we've seen from the Cowboys starting 3 cornerbacks in a long time. I mean, Jordan Lewis, the only other game that really stands out to me for Jordan Lewis that compares to this one was when he completely took out Alvin Kamara in that Thursday night game against the Saints in 2018. That's the only other game that really stands out to me that Jordan Lewis has played as well as he did today. But Jordan Lewis, early on, like, again, why did the Falcons not convert on 3rd downs and 4th down early? Because Jordan Lewis made plays on the ball and got the Cowboys off the field defensively. And then, of course, Anthony Brown made a couple of plays as well. Jordan Lewis had the interception, of course, and Anthony Brown had the interception where he just completely muscled Zacchaeus off the ball and just cleaned up the play and took and just said, no, this is my football and I'm going to intercept it. And just one of the many exclamation points on this game for the Cowboys. Just a breath of fresh air after last week, honestly. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I think I covered it all, honestly. Yeah. Offensive line, much better. Dak was himself today. CD, Coop, and Lamb. Sorry, CD, Coop, and Gallup, all phenomenal today. Noah Brown caught a big one. Just a much better game and just a breath of fresh air to win by 40 instead of lose by 30, essentially 30 like they did last week. I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, cover it all. Obviously, Greg Zuerlein was out, which didn't really matter because Liram Hajrullahu just had to kick a couple extra points. He didn't even have to kick a field goal today, I don't think. Yeah, that's it. Cowboys baptize the Falcons and on to Kansas City. It'll be fun next week. Although a little nervous for how the Cowboys are going to handle Kansas City without Gregory and Lawrence, because they got away with it today at home. But in Kansas City, even though the Chiefs have been not themselves this year and turning the ball over like a lot this year, it's going to be tough. But with Tampa losing, with Kyler Murray about to play another game without with Arizona about to play another game without Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins against the who are they playing again today? The Carolina Panthers. And Green Bay, look, I like Green Bay with Rodgers back against Seattle, but all this to say, the Cowboys are back within reach for the number 1 seed, even after the loss last week. So, yeah, 7-2. How about them Cowboys? And that'll be it for this video, this live stream, this live reaction. The Cowboys just baptizing the Falcons. As if you enjoy my commentary, as usual, give me a big thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to my channel here at Langer at the Mike. Give me a follow on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike Langer for all 3. And thank you for joining me on this Langer at the Mike post-game show. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. How about them Cowboys? See you in a week.